This is how weird my life is. Is that the weird poopy brown SUV that Jerry Dyer's wife drives? Um, like just stuck. Don't know if they're parking, leaving, moving, staying. My life is that weird. Like I've seen Jerry Dyer on August 10th, 11th at about 2 a.m. with witnesses. Dressed like a cop on August 11th, 2024. He was not a cop. And with the sidearm, you know, but with witnesses randomly from the road crew that were working graveyard, doing their job so life can happen during the day. And holy shit, life's weird. We got Jerry Dyer, murder suicide, on his record because of statutory rape. And I also met some dude in Fresno who cut somebody's head off, I believe, $150 to go kill somebody. And I bumped into this rant, he's a big black guy, but kind of different. $300 to get me into a small trailer forever. That just fit, It was the weirdest thing. $100 and like an ounce of dope. And I was just like, what? That's what I heard on the streets. And then whenever I bumped into this dude, I was just like, yeah, that's kind of the guy. um, like I love people enough to actually do something if I can. Like that was just some nutty shit. And Jerry Dyer is a POS. But August 10th, 11th, around 2 a.m., I believe, I just went to go see a friend that was just living on the streets just to hang out. And it just felt weird outside. I see this white truck, and that's where the weirdness felt like it was coming from. Little white pickup. And Jerry Dyer pops out all proud looking in his police uniform again, August 10th, 11th, about 2 a.m. And witnesses with sidearm because somebody was writing about him distributing fentanyl around downtown, right around the area I was at that night. And, that would be the guy. I mean, a chime device in a tree with serial numbers for Wi-Fi as well as their own cell phone, that would be kind of weird, but that's what I found. And, the evidence, I gave it to my probation officer. I got 13 and a half months, no trial, told I had to sign paperwork to get out. On a first-degree burglary, I did not commit. There was nobody living in the place. I'd been beat up by Clovis cops before. I did $100 worth of damage to an empty apartment, no furnishings. That is not a first-degree burglary. First-degree burglary to me is pretty creepy. Um, a couple gals showed up, and I was just like, oh my God. I heard women's voices. I guarantee you, I was more afraid of that situation than they were. Straight up, and I just walked out the window. I just needed a place to lay my head for a minute and plug in my phone. Um, you know, I'd been hospitalized by the cops in Clovis more than once. That's a fact. It's one of the stupidest cases ever. I won't even go to that. And then I have a Clovis cop say that I told him I'm going to kick your fucking ass. He was 6'6", 300 pounds and can move. I'd just been assaulted. Ran into a hotel because I knew they had surveillance cameras. My adrenaline was still pretty high, and he did not identify himself as an officer. He didn't let me know he was there. When I turned around, like he's being combative, like he just came at me, and I ran to his left. And he said, as I looked him in the eye or whatever, told him I'm going to kick your fucking ass on paperwork, and that's not what the video shows. That's not what my body cam video shows that he was wearing. He was wearing my body cam video because he lied. Like I live in reality. So people's lies, just because they put them on paper, don't make them true. We live in a place where my local mayor, murder, suicide, one dead person, That's how it was found out because of a statutory rape. It's fucking foul. And that's the person that was like, woo, the groupie grouper. Tartar sauce pickle pickle. He's a fishy motherfucker. We all know about Donald Trump. He's garbage. Dirty gold mine in the Philippines for how long? First mercury chemistry set for a 12-year-old. Here, go find me some gold. At the end of that day, full body cavity search to make sure they're not stealing Donald's gold for his $400 million cathedral ceiling. And the article I read said it was over his kitchen. That would be his dining room table. When you turn that weird Scrooge pull over, all of where it came out falls on his table. And he's just sitting there like, yeah, that's some disgusting stuff. I've had a pretty rough go at it. I would never say that that's okay. Plus, COVID-19 pre-exposed test strips in the news, and on the cover of the paper, they show fentanyl supplies. And that's the Reedley case, the federal file for the Reedley case. That's the information we have. And those are the facts to the case. Said Chinese workers pre-exposed test strips. Why did you have to keep that stuff refrigerated? So the cultures would stay alive, because it was set up to where we knew people, they knew people, 19 and older were the ones that could get harmed. That is a conspired act with facts, proof, and evidence. COVID 17 coming out, if that's pre-exposed test strips to get even younger people sick, and it's made through Essentia, the world's biggest leading dealer in death, destruction, disgust, filth. He looks like an evil little guy that should be on his little tricycle, like a clown-sized tricycle with just giant streamers, just going in circles. He's the ass clown of life. And Donald Trump, personally, $53 million along with Corona to China, and his only excuse is they didn't contain it. 180,000 people gathered at Tiananmen Square to mourn, to accept that fault. And we haven't even gotten the truth here because it's that big an embarrassment. You know, it's time that people actually are willing to be adults. I don't think we're supposed to be raising children that don't take accountability. Donald Trump is hot garbage on Tuesday night. He's a fucking shit taco. Jerry Dyer, same thing. They must have fucking came out of the same nasty shit taco. They're fucking disgusting people.